For years, I cheated on my wife, and I truly believed she never knew. Funny, isn't it? How easy it is to fool yourself while destroying the people who love you most. I told myself all the usual lies. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a little fun. I'm still providing for my family. I'm still a good husband. But the truth? I wasn't a good husband. I was simply good at hiding things. And then one rainy Thursday afternoon, everything came crashing down. Not because I got caught. Not because I finally confessed. But because I saw something that forced me to experience the very pain I had been inflicting on someone else for years. And believe me, karma has a way of arriving exactly when you least expect it. My name is Marcus Reed, 9 years married, 2 amazing children, a comfortable home in Willow Creek, and a wife everyone admired. Emily wasn't loud. She wasn't dramatic. She wasn't the type to argue for hours. She was patient, kind, dependable. The kind of woman who remembered birthdays, doctor's appointments, school projects, and every little detail that kept a family together. She packed lunches every morning, paid bills before they were due, stayed up with sick children, and somehow still found time to ask me if I'd eaten dinner. Looking back now, I realized she carried our entire family on her shoulders, and I rewarded her with betrayal. At first, my affairs felt harmless. At least that's what I told myself. A flirtatious conversation here, a secret coffee date there. Then hotel rooms, hidden messages, deleted texts, fake work meetings, late nights, excuses, more lies. Every year it became easier. Every lie came more naturally than the last. And eventually, I stopped feeling guilty. That's probably the scariest part. Not that I betrayed her, but that I became comfortable doing it. Emily noticed changes. Of course she did. Women notice everything. But she stopped asking questions. And that silence fooled me. She stopped asking when I'd be home, stopped checking my shirts, stopped waiting up at night, stopped questioning my excuses. I thought I'd won. I thought she'd accepted things. I thought she'd become blind to what was happening. I was wrong. She wasn't blind. She was exhausted. Everything changed on a Thursday afternoon. I remember every detail. The smell of fresh coffee, rain tapping against cafe windows, the sound of quiet conversations filling the room. I had stopped by a small cafe because a coworker wouldn't stop talking about their apple pie. I wasn't thinking about my marriage. I wasn't thinking about Emily. I was thinking about work, deadlines, meetings, normal things. Then I looked up and saw her. Emily sat by the window. At first, I barely recognized her. Her hair was down, she wore earrings I hadn't seen in years, and she was smiling. Not politely, not out of obligation, a genuine smile. The kind that reaches your eyes. The kind I hadn't seen since we were young. The kind she used to give me. Across from her sat a man, younger than me, well-dressed, confident, listening carefully to every word she said, not staring at his phone, not distracted, actually listening. And somehow, that hurt more than anything, because I couldn't remember the last time I had listened to Emily like that. Then she laughed. A real laugh. Warm, natural, beautiful. For a moment I just stared, because I'd forgotten what that sound felt like. Then it happened. The man reached across the table and gently took her hand. Emily didn't pull away. My chest tightened instantly. I felt jealousy, anger, humiliation, shock, 1,000 emotions crashing into me all at once. I wanted to storm over there, demand answers, cause a scene, ask who he was, ask what was happening. But I couldn't move. I just stood there, watching. Then came the realization, a brutal realization, one I couldn't escape. I had held other women's hands. I had shared secrets with strangers. I had lied repeatedly. I had betrayed Emily countless times. Yet somehow, seeing her with another man felt unbearable. I left the cafe without ordering anything. No coffee, no pie, nothing. I walked through the rain feeling like I couldn't breathe. Every step replayed the image in my head. Emily smiling, Emily laughing, Emily holding another man's hand. And for the first time in years, I understood pain. That evening, I went home. Everything looked normal. The kids were watching television, dinner was cooking, the house smelled warm and familiar. Emily stood in the kitchen stirring soup, like every other night, like nothing had happened. And somehow, that made everything worse. During dinner, I barely spoke. Emily noticed. Of course she noticed. She always noticed. Finally, she looked at me. "Are you okay?" she asked softly. Was I okay? Not even close. After the children went to bed, I asked her to talk. We sat at the kitchen table. The same table where we'd celebrated birthdays, wrote homework, planned family vacations, built whole lives. I looked at her, took a deep breath, and said, "I saw you today." She didn't panic, didn't look surprised, didn't ask what I meant. She simply looked at me calmly. "Where?" she asked. "At the cafe," I said. "I saw you with him." Still no reaction. That calmness terrified me, more than anger ever could. "I saw him holding your hand," I said. Emily looked down briefly, then back at me, and quietly replied, "It's about time you finally saw something." Those words hit me harder than any punch ever could, because they carried years of pain behind them, years of disappointment, years of heartbreak, years of knowing the truth. Without another word, she walked to a drawer, pulled out a blue folder, and placed it on the table. I stared at it, confused, nervous, suddenly afraid. "Open it," she said. I didn't want to. Something deep inside me already knew. That folder wasn't an explanation. It was a verdict. Slowly, I opened it, and my world stopped. Photographs, receipts, screenshots, messages, hotel records, dates, names, evidence. Years of evidence. Every affair, every lie, every secret, documented, organized, waiting. My mouth went dry. I couldn't speak. Emily's eyes were red, but she wasn't crying. Maybe she'd already cried enough. Maybe there were no tears left. Then she said something I'll never forget. A wife doesn't need to check a phone to know when she's no longer being loved. And just like that, every excuse I'd ever created disappeared. Every justification, every lie, every defense, gone. Then I asked the question, the one question that had haunted me all day. Who is the man from the cafe? Emily reached into the folder, pulled out an envelope. My name was written on the front, but the handwriting wasn't hers. A chill ran through my body. And in that moment, I realized something terrifying. The truth inside that envelope wasn't just about him. It was about me, about everything I'd done, everything I'd become, and the consequences I could no longer escape. What I discovered next would change my life forever. But that's a story for another day.